You watch the show and listen to the show on the radio, you know that last week there was a really big statewide meeting of Tea Party leaders down in Columbus. And at that meeting, we got a lot of issues out. We talked a lot about what we're doing. And if you follow the show, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know that we last December we kind of figured out what our problem is. Okay, what is the problem we're trying to solve? Okay, the problem we're trying to solve as Americans is that we don't have the votes in the room to get the conservative governance we desire. We don't have the people there voting to do the things that you and I would do. Okay? We are constantly trying to push politicians we did not choose into doing what we want done, and they don't do it. Okay? They don't do it. Again, we've talked about this over and over. You can't have representative government if you don't have honest people as your representatives. So we will never get the governance we seek until the people voting on policy at all levels are there to represent the people and that they're not bought and paid for by special interests, okay? So we know that. You know that, right? You're involved with that here at Tea Party Talk with Tom Z. You learned that. So what we've done is we've got involved with elections, okay? And we figured out that the formula for us to take back the electoral process from the special interest is to get lots of citizens involved, okay, and get small donations from those citizens. That's how you get representative government, all right? Lots of citizens involved and then small donations. And so this is what we did up here in Northeast Ohio with the Matt Lynch-Dave Joyce race, and we came real close to winning. This is what happened with Eric Cantor down in Virginia, where they were grossly outspent, but they had lots of people and they had enough money to get the things done, to knock on the doors, give out the flyers, and get people to vote for a citizen representative. It's worked in Mississippi, where we've got this big controversy in Mississippi. So we know the formula, all right? But you also know that last year we came up with this program where we basically asked people to put their name on the ballot, okay? And that was a big deal. The Ohio Citizens PAC came out last December and January, and we went to liberty leaders all over the state and common folks like you, and said, run for office. You don't have to run for Senate or House in Ohio. You can run for county commissioner or city council. You can run for township trustee. You can run for school board. You can run for state central committee, and we've talked about that, and we talked about how important that is. And in doing so, we can then have someone on the ballot that we would vote for. See, that's, again, how do they control the electoral process? The moneyed special interests keep everyone else off the ballot, so the only choice you have are the people they own. We're trying to stop that. So one of the things, we had great success. We were really excited with what happened, in the primary. They said we couldn't get anybody to run. We got 68 people to run. They said we couldn't get anybody to win. We had 5 House seats that we won the primary. We had 15 or so state central committee people who won. We had county commissioner candidates win, and we had hundreds, if not 1,000 people win in county central committees. So we showed that we could do that. But one of our problems was that, we did it in such a short time frame. I mean, people literally who had never run from office went from putting their name on the ballot in January, okay, to running an election that ended in May. That's an incredibly insane time frame. The other problem was, so we didn't have enough time. That was the first issue. The other problem was we didn't have enough support for them. To run a campaign, you need to have support. So what you have to have is you have to have a campaign manager and a treasurer and a fundraiser and a social media person and all those kind of folks. That's what you got to have, all right? Well, the problem with that is, folks, and I'm not making this up, I'm just telling you the truth. The problem with that is if you're not bought and paid for, if you're not owned by the establishment, when you try to get someone who's been a campaign manager to help you, they'll get a phone call that says, if you help that Tea Party candidate, you'll never work in the state again. If you're a campaign manager, you'll get that phone call. So we have no choice but to develop these skills ourselves. We need to get people like you to help us develop the support staff for these candidates who are going to be running. Okay, so if you are a person that's likes to write and is a good speaker and is good at relationships, you might be a possible public relations director. If you've been a salesman, or you've done Mary Kay Cosmetics, or you've worked in fundraising for your church, you could be a fundraising person. So we are going to announce today that we are going to have the 2014 We the People Convention on Saturday, September 20th in Columbus, Ohio. And in conjunction with that, we're going to bring in the best people in the country. They're called the Leadership Institute out of Washington, D.C. They're going to bring their staff to Ohio, and they're going to train not only candidates, but campaign staff. We're also going to have, all the issues covered, at the convention that we're concerned about, like Common Core and the IRS issues and the immigration and all that. We'll cover all that. But the key reason for the convention is to train these staff, okay? So here's the reality of it. The 2016 election is right around the corner. And political timeframes, if we want to run candidates in 2016, we need to start recruiting them now. You need to start recruiting them now. We, the people, need to start recruiting them now. And I'm talking candidates for every position in your community. Last time we got 38 people to run for Ohio House. There's 99 House seats up every 2 years. We need to recruit people to run in every one of those 99 seats. Republicans, Democrats, I don't care. Anybody that's up for Senate, Ohio Senate, we want to find candidates. If the congressional seats will all be up. We need to find good candidates who are not owned by the establishment, who are us. Okay? We need local candidates. We need to run on both for the Democrat and Republican State Central Committee. We need to run for all the county central committees. If we're going to have government of the people, by the people, and for the people, we the people need to be the ones running the government. And the only way to do that is for you to run for office. But we're not going to just say, oh, go ahead and run for office and good luck. We're going to get behind you, and we're going to use our formula. We're going to get lots of people to get behind you and go door to door and work for you. That's what the grassroots is. And we're going to get those people to give small amounts of money so that you have enough money to have an effective campaign. And then we're going to use the We the People Convention to train your staff so that you have people that you can rely on to do all these important jobs. Okay? And if we do that this summer at the We the People Convention in Columbus, you'll be victorious because we've seen the formula work. It worked with Eric Cantor. It almost worked with Matt Lynch. It's working in Mississippi. It's working in other places around the country. So I hope you're as excited as I am about the We the People Convention, and I hope that you will plan, to have it, to have it on your calendar this year because it's going to be a great event. It's our 4th annual convention. Last time we only charged, I think, $37.50 a ticket. We always try to keep it reasonable. We're going to have some great national speakers here. We might even have some of the political candidates for 16 come and talk to us. To learn more, go to wethepeopleconvention.org. That's where you'll find out about, as we announce speakers, that you'll find out. And we'll have ticket information up there probably in the next couple of days, and you'll actually be able to start ordering your tickets. But I want you to mark your calendar now for Saturday, September 20th, the We the People Convention in Columbus, Ohio. And you can learn more at wethepeopleconvention.org, wethepeopleconvention.org. It's an easy website to remember.